And a good morning to you. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. My name is George BRUNO, also known as the Sultan in the hair industry. We're going to go over some Twitter feed. Today's coffee is Ethiopian by Sam's Choice. Actually, I got it at Walmart. And I'm going to do a video on it real soon about all the coffees that Sam's Choice offers and why my favorite is Ethiopian. And I've had them all. I buy them. I believe there's 5 different types. And I usually buy 5 of them, all 5. And then I cycle through them. It keeps my coffee boredom at bay. I'm sorry, it's 5:19 in the morning. I should have been out here about 19 minutes earlier. I like actually pressing record at 5 a.m. One of the best things you can do for yourself is get up an hour earlier. You'll get more work done, or at least when you do start work, you'll be mentally in tune. It'll be good for you. Try getting up an hour earlier. I wake up naturally at about 4:30. Literally, my body wakes me up at 4:30 every day. I try to get to bed super early so I can get a lot of sleep. Sleep is super important for healing, mentally, physically. I wake up naturally at 4:30. Usually it's just to have to pee, but that's not unusual. I learned over the years that when I go back to bed, my sleep isn't the best, from 4:30 to 6:30, those last 2 hours. It's not a deep sleep. It's a waste of time. It's pure avoidance of the day. Let's get real. It's day avoidance, especially on a Monday morning. So when I get up at 4:30, I get up. I'm up and I'm out of bed. And I don't make my bed at 4:30 in the morning. I'm sorry, Dr. Peterson. I do not make my bed at 4:30 in the morning. I make it when I go back upstairs a little bit later. Home again. I like to be here when I can. When I come home cold and tired, it's good to warm my bones beside the fire. Pink Floyd. I wonder if Martin Luther ever missed conducting Mass. It's not like he went to full Protestant mode immediately. Interesting thought, right? Like me for who I am. Nope. No, I won't. Do something about yourself. One of the best things you can do for yourself is to stop rewarding bad behavior. Behavior modification principle number 1, behavior that gets rewarded gets repeated. So stop rewarding people's bad behavior right now. Stop it. I asked women a question. I did a poll about beards. What length beard do you like best on a man? 51% said rough scruff, so like a 3 to 5 day scruff. 30% said short, like mine right now. 8% said medium, like to the shirt collar. 11% said long to the chest and below. You can extract, and that's after just 1 day of a poll that I put on Twitter. You can extract what you want out of that. If you go to tobaccopipes.com, if you are a pipe smoker or interested in buying anything for a pipe smoker, if you go to tobaccopipes.com and you use the promo code SULTAN, you'll get a free gift when you're ordering. It's a company by men for men. Someone just told me to hang in there and keep fighting the food fight. I think he meant keep fighting the good fight. But I'm always up for a good food fight. And then I notice that the F is right next to the G on the QWERTY keyboard. Be careful. One letter can change the meaning of a text, or an email, or a post. One letter. I have spent 1/3 of my life in a pew with a hymnal in my hand, 1/3 on a bar stool with a drink in my hand, and another third of my life at my desk with a pen in my hand. The last one has been the most fulfilling and has made the most difference and impact in anyone's life. Tell your son that. I would write that. If you got a letter from me, a letter from the father you never had, that's one of the things I would tell you. Another poll, favorite pipe tobacco. 15% said Burley, 52% said Virginia, 5% said Perique, 28% said Latakia. So it looks like a Virginia and Latakia took top place. 1 and 2. I'm kind of a burly guy myself, but that's the beautiful thing about the manly hobby of pipe smoking, is that there's so many choices. Regarding the dude who shot the people at the synagogue in Pittsburgh, if that dude doesn't get swift justice, then you know who to blame. Let's just watch his defense team vomit up all the classic mitigating circumstances. Well, he was on drugs, he had a bad childhood, he was on antidepressants. That part of the trial is always fun after someone kills a whole bunch of people. Here's the circumstance. He's evil, undisciplined, and needs to be put down like a fucking dog. Zero mercy if you kill people. Zero. None. Zip. I'm not paying for you to be in prison for the rest of your life. And I know this splits a lot of people right down the middle. You walk into a church, a synagogue, and you start firing because of your hate. As soon as we can create due process and you get a fair trial, it has to be fair, of course, there needs to be the death penalty. And I prefer the firing squad. No lethal injection. Firing squad. Many of the victims were over age 70. That means they lived through the time of Hitler and the Holocaust. They came to America and got shot by a hater. Another great reason why you should always arm yourself. Never unprotect yourself. Never unprotect yourself. You know what police respond to? Well, I'll just call the police. You know what they respond to? Dead bodies. They bring cameras and body bags and leave chalk lines of your dead body laying on the carpet, in the driveway, in the parking lot. When you protect yourself, the only chalk line is going to be around the offender. And you protected people and your family. Super important. But now you do what they told you. Rage Against the Machine, 1991. The political signs on people's lawns and cluttering street intersections really changed my mind on who I should vote for, said no man ever. I'll probably go back to church when I get married again. I certainly don't lack fellowship or the opportunities to serve. I am devotionally disciplined. I love the Lord. When I go back to church, it's probably going to be a PCA, Reformed or Reformed Baptist church. For me, there's much less fantasy, eisegesis, and romanticized relationship nonsense. A woman's warm lips after sipping tea is one of the most amazing pleasures of life. If you haven't experienced that, it's amazing. Coffee lips? Not so much. Tea breath is much better than coffee breath. But I do love how women hold that mug of coffee or tea to warm their hands. Like in the commercials, you see the woman like snuggled up and she's holding her cup and she takes a sip. There's something sexy about that. I can't put my finger on it. But I just imagine my woman on a Saturday or Sunday morning reading the newspaper, actually like a real newspaper, having a nice conversation with her, and she's holding her coffee like this. Something sexy. I stopped going to church as a single man. Done. Finito. No more church for me. Because no one looks at you with trusting eyes unless you're a nerd running the soundboard, and even then, you're probably watching Pornhub from behind the soundboard during the sermon. Basically, as a single man, you're viewed as the predator of wives, helpless divorcees, epiphanized women who had come to Jesus moments. They're done riding the carousel and they want to get right with God. And God forbid a single man like you enter their life and drag them back into the dark world. You're a predator if you're single. That's why you need fellowship. Somewhere else. You need to get it from somewhere else. And you can serve in other places. I'll elaborate on that. You can have a great beard and hit the gym daily, but still be a pathetic, weak, beta male. A male feminist that falls to pieces when trauma, chaos, or disorder arrive. Until then, you still hammer masculinity and those that are trying to reclaim manhood and men bettering themselves. That's a shame. Because someday you're going to need another man who's stronger than you. Take my word for it. I've been on this earth long enough to see all of you tough guys fall to pieces. But don't worry. I'm there to help you. Put a hand on your shoulder and tell you to buck up. Give you just enough compassion. No pity. Pity makes you weak. Compassion makes you strong. I don't want to feel sorry for you. I'll feel sorry with you. That's empathy. That's feeling bad with someone. Sympathy is feeling bad for someone, which doesn't help anyone. There's a scripture that says when all these people followed Jesus to the hillside, and they followed him for days, and they were hungry. And it said that when he saw the multitudes, he had compassion on them. And that's the Greek word splanchnizomai. I know you didn't wake up and turn this video on for a Bible study. It's one of my areas of expertise that you're not going to hear me talk about much. But I'll say it now. Splanchnizomai, which we get the word spleen from, your innermost being. When he saw the multitudes, he had compassion on them. He felt it here. That's what I feel when I see a man hurting. And there's always going to be those who are like, that is so gay. No, there's nothing gay or homo about that. Nothing at all. There's nothing more reassuring than a man saying, I get you, man. And even if you don't get them, Or if you're the hurting one, you don't believe that they get you. If a dude says, I'm here for you if you need me. There's something powerful about that. Call anytime. That's powerful. Even if people never take you up on that. That's restorative. When you feel like you're the only one in the world having a crappy day, and someone says, I feel you, man, there's power in that. I am a recovering Christian man, recovering from a lifetime of men's breakfasts, retreats, and prayer meetings. I'm still a committed Christian person, though. But I just pulled out the IV drip line of beta male training and looking for a good Christian woman, because there's no such thing. There's women. There's not good Christian women. There's not bad Christian women. There's women. Get that through your head. There's women. You're not going to find a better quality woman at one place versus another place. There's multiple spectrums of women in all places. You're not going to find a better woman in church, or a better woman in synagogue, or a better woman in yoga, or ain't going to happen. There's women everywhere, just like there's men everywhere. There's a lot of ways that a man can be unequally yoked with a woman. It's not just a faith issue, although it is spoken that way in Scripture. But there's so many ways. My wife was a good Christian woman, my ex-wife. And to clear the air and make a statement, I'm not angry, bitter, pissed, or anything like that. I'm just, someone said, do you still love her? I go, no. They said, do you hate her? I said, no. They're like, well, then what? And I said, I nothing her. She's insignificant to me. She makes no difference in me. And that's where I want you to be regarding your breakups. No more little strings, little threads, little tentacles pulling you in the direction of what left your life or what you drove out of your life. Which leads me to say this. MGTOW, men going their own way, it's a nice and necessary place to visit on occasion, but you don't want to live there. Being a lifelong MGTOWer is like lowering the basket in basketball, where you never fail. Well, I'm tired of women. I'm sick of that shit. Did you stop walking when you fell at 2 years old? No, you got back up on your feet and kept walking until you walked. Don't give up. But like I said, sometimes you need to take a little break. That's cool. It's a nice place to visit. You don't want to live there. Successful men are successful because they aim high in every area of their life. And they make calculated risks. Everything's a risk. You're going to ask 10 women out, one might say yes. But you're afraid of those 9 that are going to say no. Men, don't be a ladies' man. I was there for years. I was a ladies' man for many, many years. It's a low valley of life with an occasional mountain peak. It's a lonely life. Be a man of the people. Be a man that people want to be around, not just women. Women will be drawn to you automatically, and people will want to do business with you when you become the kind of man that people want to be around. Singles groups. Oh, I've belonged to a few. I even got banned from one at one point. I call them low-hanging fruit, every single one of them. Again, you don't meet better people at a singles group. You meet people. It's like anywhere else. Gym, dating sites, whatever. The biker bar. Some of the nicest women I've met are at my biker bar. Nicest people. Bend over backwards for me. Greet me with a hug. I like that. And I do the same. I provide the same. So I say pursue excellence. Listen close, young guy. Pursue excellence, and then every social gathering is a singles group for you. Let me say it again. When you pursue excellence in your life, like today, I'm going to do a little work here early in the morning. I'm going to hit the gym. I'm going to be lifting weights, making the body harder, not bigger. I kind of like my new medium size now, down to a medium, and I love it. When you pursue excellence, every social gathering is a singles group for you. Keep that in mind. I'm at the point with my daily emails where I just select all and then I uncheck the ones that I want to read. And I just delete everything else. Whoosh, gone. I don't go through every email. That's one technique that can save you so much time. Action cures fear. Massive action cures massive fear. Wishing and hoping is not a strategy. Put yourself where high-value women tend to be more often if you are a single man. The more social media'd a woman is, the less true value she possesses. Unless she makes her living on social media and she needs her images and so forth to be out there. But the average woman who's all social media'd up, the average Instagram model, so to speak, are wastes of your time. And if you get into a relationship with her and she's still taking selfies while you're on the couch with her and she's posting it with dog ears, you're in trouble, dude. How to find a woman or be found by a woman on your terms. It's a numbers game. Number one, increase your exposure. Put yourself where high-value women are or tend to be. 2, pursue excellence and not women. Create the best version of you. And 3, make yourself unforgettable aesthetically, what people see, your body, your clothing, the way you groom yourself. Make yourself unforgettable. Oh crap, I accidentally messed up the time machine. I smoked Dunhill early morning pipe in the evening, so I better pull out the nightcap to reset the machine, and I hope the sun still rises tomorrow. Let's keep our fingers crossed. I did this thing once where I watched movies that were only in black and white. TV in black and white. There are channels that have like old shows, which means that it was everything before 1970. Sitcoms, movies, variety shows, and no news. Zero news. After 1 week, I actually felt more peaceful, I laughed more, and I felt better about people in general. No news, only watch old reruns. Black and white. Not color, black and white. Do it for 1 week, it'll blow your mind. I said this on Saturday night. If you are tweeting tonight, one thing is for sure, you're not on a date or with someone you love. All the pickup artists giving men advice on Twitter on a Saturday night. There's just something strangely ironic about that. And if you are tweeting on a Saturday night while you're on a date, turn that damn phone off. I don't care if you're male or female. If you're a male, you got a box of thoughts on that phone. If you're female, you got a box of dicks in that phone. You know it and I know it. Turn it off. Turn the phone off. Now go get some. That's the men and women. The 13th rule of life. Make me a sandwich. Lots of hashtag mom life on Instagram and Twitter, but not a lot of wife life. Interesting, right? 90% of all marriages, 70% of all marriages are initiated by women. Add college-educated women to that, and it's 90%. I'm not casting any judgment. You can't argue with numbers. Facts are stubborn things, as John Adams would say. 90% of all divorces are initiated by women. Think about that. Old dogs care about you even when you make mistakes. Tom T. Hall, 1972. His wife was leaving, the baby was crying, the dog had died, but the rose bush was blooming well. So when Jerry Chestnut was asked, "How are things going?" he could only reply, "It was a good year for the roses." That song went to the top of the charts in 1970 by George Jones. It's a proven fact that marriage starts the onset of neck problems in women. Prior to marriage, you never heard the word, "Ooh, my neck." Some of you will get that. And finally, whenever I smoke a pipe, it enjoys the hell out of me. And with that, let me toast you. Thank you for watching the Daybreak Show. We have some interesting things coming up, some sponsorships. I'm excited about that. We're going to be starting an Ask the Sultan. If you have any questions, put them in the comments down below. Please subscribe to this channel for regular content. Hit the notification bell next to the subscription button. And what happens is you get notified every time this kind of content comes out, and you'll never miss a thing. So right now, it's Monday morning, the start of your week. Are you psyched about starting your day, starting your week? I am. I jumped out of the sack today. Most of the world is saying, "Oh shit, it's Monday." And everyone will be saying that at work today. How you doing? You know, it's Monday. I jumped out of the sack and said, "All right, it's Monday." And I start working down my to-do list for the day. And I will get a lot done today. Now here it is. Gosh, it's not even 6 o'clock in the morning. And I already did the Daybreak Show. And there'll be a couple other videos produced even before most of you even make your bed. Couple books coming out soon. I have one book that I'm writing now called The First Things a Man Should Do. And the other one is Letters from the Father You Never Had. For men. You're going to enjoy them. And they're going to speak to you. And I'm actually providing a service called Letters from the Father That You Never Had, where I'm actually going to be writing you a letter. It's not free and it's not cheap, but you're going to ask some questions and I'm going to answer them on paper, writing with my new fountain pens, and then signing it. Best wishes, keep up the great work, and then sign my name. And when you feel like shit, and your world is dark and you have no hope, what's going to happen is you're going to pull that letter out from the dad that you never had, and it's going to encourage you. Until then, keep watching these videos. Be the best version of yourself. What is the best version of you? You can do it. Thanks for watching.